What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over the features for patch 7.3.5. I felt like it was just really difficult to kind of understand all the stuff that's coming in the patch, and I felt like it was a little unclear and a little like scattered of information, right? So that's why I want to kind of just go over these features, walk you through them, tell you what's going to be coming up in this like minor patch that's coming pretty soon. Actually, it's almost on the PTR. I don't know of anything about like a 7.4 or anything beyond that, so I think it's safe to assume that this is probably going to be the last content patch of Legion. So let's just go ahead and dive into the actual features that are going to be released when this patch does come out. So the very first one I want to go over is actually the scaling of the leveling throughout the world. This is a really big deal, guys. It actually makes it so that all of the vanilla zones, and I think from my understanding is that you can either do Northrend or Burning Crusade at level 70s, and you can kind of choose which one you want to go to, but it makes it so that all the vanilla zones will actually scale up to your level as you level. So it's similar to how you leveled through Legion, but for example, like you could be in Red Ridge Mountains as a level 40 or like a level 35, and it will all like scale to your level. All of the monsters, all the quests will give you appropriate XP for based on your level, and it'll actually make it so that you can choose where you want to level, and you can go along this path and you can actually play through an entire zone without out leveling it. And that's a really big deal because in expansions like Legion and, you know, the most recent ones like Warlords of Draenor, for example, you would level through these zones so quickly that you would out level the zones before you even finish them, and that might deter a lot of people, and it also makes it so that leveling is kind of janky. So you'd like do 3 or 4 quests in a zone, and then all of a sudden you'd be out leveling it and you couldn't finish out the storyline. I think that that's just kind of lame. So it's really cool to see that you are actually able to level throughout the world how you want to do that. And I think the flow of everything will definitely make be improved by this, and this is being kind of like throughout the entire zones of World of Warcraft, obviously like the vanilla zones. And then the next one I want to talk about is going to be the post-end Taurus story. Now I'm not going to like give you guys any spoilers or anything. I'm going to keep this pretty vague, but pretty much all of the content that's going to be shown about like what happens after we defeat Antorus the Burning Throne, and after we defeat the last boss in there, Argus the Unmaker, this is pretty much the story that's going to explain what's happening after that. And this is really cool because it probably will set up the storyline for the next expansion, which really does beg the question as to, is 7.3.5 the pre-patch for next expansion? I feel like the next expansion is pretty far off, which makes me feel like there might be a content drought, and I hope that there's not. I hope that there's not like a 10-month content drought up until next expansion, but it's really going to beg the question because the content, like I already know what's in it. I already know the story and everything that's going on. I know a lot of you guys already do as well, but I'm not trying to spoil it for those who don't. And I think that with the content that is coming out, it's really kind of questioning what will happen next, if there will be a pre-patch, and I look forward to it if there will be another patch after that. But the story will continue and pretty much close out the entire Legion expansion, which is cool. So we will definitely look forward to that. The next feature that is going to be released in 7.3.5 is actually Ulduar Timewalking, which is really cool because they had a release Black Temple Timewalking, and that was a lot of fun. I mean, I had a lot of fun with it going back and doing the time walking, and I think that it's really cool that they allowed demon hunters to actually transmog your Warglaives of Azeroth, and it looks like they're going to be carrying that system forth through Ulduar, and you're actually going to be able to transmog the legendary hammer Volunteer at the end of Ulduar. And I would assume that this is under a similar system as the Black Temple. I mean, it would make sense for them to follow suit. And that means that basically if you have the legendary hammer, the actual item, what you would have to do is you would have to go through and kill the last boss, Yogg-Saron, and then you would have this ensemble that would allow you to transmog to that legendary hammer. So this is cool. I think that hopefully that is how it works, and I would assume that the gear is probably going to be 900 base item level, and it will Warforge up to 915. But the questionable part about Ulduar is the fact that there are hard modes. There are things you can do that will increase the difficulty of the bosses, and how that worked in Ulduar is when you would do the hard modes, you would get better gear. So I don't know if that means that they're going to allow you to get like 905 or 910 item level gear, and then that will like Titan Forge or something. I don't know how that's going to work, but the gearing system is definitely a little bit confusing. But in Black Temple, they did do 900 item level base and 915 Warforge. So that's probably where we're going to see the gear end up in terms of power level. And last but not least, guys, this is probably the most exciting of the 7.3.5 stuff. It's like in conjunction with the story, is that we're going to get a preview of the new Battleground that's going to be happening in Silithus. If you guys aren't familiar with the Silithus Battleground, it was unveiled at BlizzCon, and it's not really a secret or anything, guys, so I'm just going to talk about it. Sorry if this does spoil it for you, but it is a Silithus Battleground in which you will go and you will try to fight, or you will try to find all of the Azerite coming to the surface there. How this Battleground is going to work is going to be a dynamic node control, so basically that means that there's going to be several different nodes in a map, and what you're going to do is you're going to go through this map, and throughout the game there will be different nodes that will pop up and activate, and you will basically have to run to that node, capture all of the Azerite there, and then move on from that until the node is like finished, and then moving on to the next node that activates. I would assume that's how it works. I will definitely be covering that Battleground once I have access to it. I think that it does sound pretty cool, and I'm just happy that we're getting new PvP content. So I'm definitely going to be showing you guys all of that as it does come out, and I will definitely show you more and talk about the 7.3.5 content as it does become on, or as it does get released on the PTR. So I'll be sure to go test it out and tell you guys what's interesting, and see if there's anything that doesn't work and talk about that as well. So be sure to subscribe to my channel to keep updated with those videos. I hope that you did enjoy this one. If you did, be sure to leave a like on this video, and also leave a comment down below with your thoughts on the topics in this one. Like, are you going to be doing Old War Timewalking? Are you excited for the Antor story? Like, what do you expect to be happening there outside of all the data mining stuff? If you already know about it, like, do you see any developments in that story? How do you feel about the scaling leveling world? I think that the most of people are probably pretty positive about that, because it does just kind of improve the play of everything. It kind of brings everything up to the current date of which how you level, and I'm definitely excited for the Silithus Battleground and to test that out. So let me know how you guys feel about that, and thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks very much.